What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here again on MUSE TV. I'm Samantha Aguilar, and today I have for you guys yet another movie review to bring in the Christmas season, kind of. I was able to watch the movie Fatman, directed and written by Eshom Nelms and Ian Nelms. Now, I say kind of because this movie was a little bit different than what we traditionally expect from a Christmas movie, especially a movie following Santa Claus. Now, if you are looking for big, holly jolly, rosy-cheeked, bright-eyed, festive, throwing holiday spirit left and right Santa Claus, this is not the movie. This movie portrays Santa Claus in basically like a badass form. So he is gun shooting, boxing, heavy training, grungy looking Santa Claus. Santa Claus, also known as Cringle and played by Mel Gibson, is basically in a little bit of a dilemma. So the movie is centered very specifically around how capitalistic Christmas is, especially in the American society. We heavily capitalize on the holiday, and it basically is showing like a very true representation of what that looks like for Santa Claus. So in this film, Santa Claus is basically paid by the US government for the amount of gifts that he is able to not only make, but distribute. But of course, for whatever reason, this specific year, kids are being way too bad and Santa Claus is not here for it. He is not going to deliver all those gifts if the kids are not behaving, which means that he's not going to be paid all the money that he needs to be paid, the money that he needs to pay his staff, and the money that he needs to be able to maintain himself and his wife and his life. He's having a hard time debating whether he should continue to be Santa Claus, debating whether this is worth it. He is in a whole mix-up with the US government, who is trying to basically say, hey, we get it, you're going through it, but we can't give you any more money than we're already giving you because you're not producing all the amount of toys that we need you to produce. Okay, fine. He says, okay, fine. They take a step back and they try to rework things. What can we do to make sure that I'm getting this money? Well, the US government says, well, why don't you, from your workshop, why don't you have your elves make US jet fighting pieces? So what does Cringle do? Cringle says, okay, I accept, although I don't want to do this. It is needed, it is necessary. As I said, in a capitalistic society, we do what we need to do to stay afloat. And that's the choice that he makes. He decides to let the US military into his workshop base. They make a few changes here and there, but Chris is able to then get the other half of the money that he needs to continue to pay his staff and pay his own bills. Billy is a troubled kid that we meet at the beginning of the film. He not only steals money from his old grandmother, but he treats his staff very poorly, and he even hires a hitman to get even with a girl in his class who took first place in the science fair. Why? Because he wanted first place. So he's not the best kid out there, and obviously Santa Claus is very aware of that. That year for Christmas, what does Billy get? Yes, he gets coal. And what does Billy do when he finds out that he gets coal for Christmas? He hires a hitman to kill Santa Claus. The hitman is played by Walton Goggins, who is also, as we find out throughout the film, kind of troubled. He's had maybe not the best childhood, a bad past. He definitely has hard feelings for the Christmas season and for Santa Claus himself. When he gets hired to do this job, he takes it on very quickly, jumps on it, is very serious about it, and he literally goes from state line to state line looking for and hunting down Cringle. He is a great hitman. He kills a good number of people on his way to Santa Claus, does what he needs to do, covers his steps, never gets caught. By the time he reaches the workshop and the now shared base with the military, he is able to get in, he does what he needs to do, gets to Santa Claus, and of course, when they finally confront each other, it is an action-packed scene beyond confrontation. I mean, it's a whole gun fight. It is a lot of figuring out why this man is so troubled to begin with and why he's even doing this. In the end, during the showdown, we find out that this is not the first time someone's gone out of their way to try to kill Santa Claus, and it's obviously not going to be the last. Beyond the way that the script was written, the characters were developed, I think at the end of the day, the message of the story is, look, we do live in a very capitalistic society. Truth be told, even the things that we maybe think are super genuine to our society and are a very big traditional part of our lives, something as big as Christmas that's also connected to religion, is capitalized on. And our morals definitely do get challenged. And it's very much true. Industries and big corporations and companies do sometimes cross that line and don't always necessarily think about moral values. But beyond that, I think we almost needed one of these movies where it is a little bit twisted. It is completely different than what we've seen before. It is beyond the traditional. I think we needed that. I also think, like, I mean, why would you not want to watch Santa Claus, like, completely go off? It's definitely something that opens your eyes, gets that message across, a message that I think we all needed. It's a good wake-up call, but also a good way to really recognize the society that we're living in. It's an action-packed movie, and like I said, it's so different, but it's definitely worth the watch. If you guys are able to see this movie, definitely check it out. Thank you so much for joining us again here on MUSE TV. Make sure you leave some likes, some comments, make sure you subscribe. Follow us on all our social media platforms to make sure that you guys don't miss a thing, at MUSE TV on Instagram. And you can follow me at Samantha, 2 A's at the end, period, Aguilar, 2 R's at the end, on Instagram as well. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and we'll see you guys next time.